In 1970, Welsh psychedelic folk rockers Blonde on Blonde released their second album, Rebirth, and from it, the track Broken Hours.
As you are here and you are mine, allow me to suppress your will.
Allow me to suppress your will, as you are here and you are mine. Yeah, okay. Fading right in with that backwards symbol and then that sliding bass line, yeah, and then those like kind of those kind of jangly electric.
Oh, not for love or my own need, but broken hearts that hurt me still with tender tainted pleasure.
Quite a emotive style of singing. Really hangs on to those syllables, kind of stretches them out, kind of wavers, kind of melodramatic flair, but also quite restrained and suited to the backdrop, even if unique for its style. But then again, this is a very unique album from the UK for 1970. It's got an almost kind of like American jangly sound in places, and just that never-ending kind of like wash of kind of fuzzy jangle to it. That I can't really think of anything else from the UK offhand that really quite aligns with it, let alone Wales.
Oh, gone into remembering the tender tainted pleasure, no pain, no pain.
Hear the high notes coming out of the speaker. Okay, I think we're about to wind up pretty fast. Okay, we got that right in the center. That bass is coming on strong, and then it's being flanked on each side. Kind of, well, the background there are different like smoldering, sizzly, fuzzy guitar tones coming like some layers here and different layers in each channel. They're trying to congeal around something, and that the drummer keeps on trying to like kickstart something. The operative riff, I would say, in the track, that da na 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 na.
In a way of living, so where things went wrong, I don't know, I don't care, I'll sing tomorrow's song.
Oh, the sound is almost like verging on kind of like dissonance in a way. It's like I'm hearing several different tracks playing at this, several different pieces playing at the same time. And now we've got that added like bit of the piano that's just kind of throwing things off. But I'm hearing kind of like a jet engine-y kind of set, or kind of feel like underneath it all, underneath the song. I think there's a bit of panning going on, like something will start here and then kind of go there. And the drummer keeps on trying to like kick up dust, like he's trying to lead the band somewhere, and each time he's just kind of like revving up the engine repeatedly.
Sheltering trees of crying laughter. Oh, how I'd waited for this time.
Okay, and vocals by Dave Thomas, guitar Gareth Johnson, drums Leigh Hicks, bass Richard John. Pretty simple list of credits there, but quite an original brew of sound for them put together here.
But so to die for, not long after, came a song of mourning, fading away into remembering.
I love how the bass keeps on just like echoing, like.
Tender tainted, pleasure no pain.
Sliding and echoing. And I gotta say, there's almost never a good time to cut between when the guy's singing, because you just almost never know when he's done. The way he stretches syllables out, just as he's kind of fading, he just kind of like comes right back out. That was Blonde on Blonde, Broken Hours, from their 1970 release Rebirth. Let's hear another track from the album, Circle. Really pile-driving drums, going through, taking us through several rhythmic figures amid that kind of jangly type of tone. A little bit free form right here. They're trying to like put a structure together, or there's kind of like a loose structure falling apart. Now they're trying to put something else. The kind of like overall smoldering kind of heap feel that this is creating kind of reminds me of some of the moments on T2's It'll All Work Out in Boomland that came out the same year as this.
Leaves of green are turning brown. This silent world keeps turning round. The simple child that should be.
He has got quite a voice. I don't know what these guys really did after the band. They put out 3 albums total. Let's see, Blonde on Blonde was a Welsh folk-psych band that released the album Contrasts on Pie in 1969, followed by the 1970-71 albums Rebirth and Reflections on a Life on Ember Records. Founding vocalist guitarist Ralph Denyer left after the first album to explore brassier territory in the RCA Victor one-off Aquila. Drummer Leigh Hicks resurfaced in 1978 in the pop-psych combo Crystal Suspension. Huh. Yeah, several... It sounds to me like all these guys should have gone on to other things.
Seems as far as he can be, and all I say is show me a way to be as good as this day.
Okay, the guitarist is definitely overdubbing, because I'm hearing some kind of low in the mix riffage in my right speaker, and then I'm hearing some really warm buzz kind of bubbling over right in the center.
Circle, circle, burning bright in the mirror of your night.
Constantly like coming undone like that. Like,
in the mirror of your side.
kind of like those held notes, like or just kind of like pause, as that, like the drummer like does like a couple of rolls.
In the mirror, mirror bride.
I think, who would I compare his vocals to? Perhaps the guy in Cressida. It's so kind of like operatic to a degree.
On this holy day.
Okay, I'm not comparing the singing style to the guy in Cressida. Just the voice itself sounds similar. The style, I guess what's unique is that the sound of his voice and his style of singing are an odd combination. I can definitely hear it seems like double tracked jangliness. It's like it's hard to imagine one hand is producing it all, or maybe it's just the way the channel separation. Yeah, that trade off, and there's definitely like some fingering going on. Oh, now the speaker is just like smoldering with fuzz. Can that even be heard? I hope that picks up. Yeah, there's this section I can tell is really separated. It's like the bass and the drums are all on the left, and this fuzz, just this really crude fuzz tone is coming out of the right. And I don't know if it's all picking up right over here, but it's one wouldn't be much without the other. Just jam away for minutes on end, and just the sound itself is captivating. They don't even need to be finding a definite melody to latch onto. Just let it go randomly. And then you have like tight moments like this where they all do kind of like center on a particular theme, riff. We got this fuzz going here. We got the drums just piled right in there. Reminding me of a moment from a love sculpture, in that I guess I'm thinking of Saber Dance. Okay, now back to the song proper. sweet songs blended together.
In summer warms or stormy weather, the hand that reaches to my face,
The hand that reaches to my face.
clothed in silver and in lace,
Cloaked in silver and in lace.
and all I want is the chance to be a spirit and to be as good as this day.
And all I want is a chance to be a spirit and to be as good as this day.
Oh, circle, circle, burning bright in the mirror of your night, in the mirror of your sight, in the mirror bright. On this holy day.
Okay, now I just heard a very different fuzz sound coming in. It was like a thicker one. It was coming through the center. It wasn't it. Different. It's amazing the different guitar textures that have appeared. Just like 4 instruments, very with very simple listed credits. And like because earlier the sound the fuzz was almost just kind of like a reverby fuzz where you couldn't really hear you couldn't feel the strings, whereas this time it almost felt like kind of like a fuzz bass or something. Yeah, there's definitely 2 guitars doing this right here because I mean and then I'm also no. And then obviously got like a floor pedal to like switch between that kind of jangly tone and that fuzzy, really. Yeah, got a real showcase for both those type of guitar sounds, and one of the only albums from 1970 that comes to mind for in that department. Yeah, Blonde on Blonde, Circles, the epic from their 1970 second album Rebirth, and before that, Broken Hours. Yes, one of the finest acts to come from Wales. And at this point in time, one of the best recorded, because there had been some Welsh acts kind of on the margins of English, on the margins of like the UK psychedelia and R&B beat scene, but for some reason, a lot of them had like really muddy sound quality, like Amen Corner, or the follow-up, Fairweather. Or, heck, the band Eyes of Blue, the psych band, yeah, that had, some interesting people on it, yeah. John Weathers, later a Gentle Giant, wasn't it? Yeah. And I think Reginald Dwight kind of played with them briefly. Oh, and the band Ancient Greece, also from 1970, yeah, very, very, once again, a very crude sound. Yeah, and Blonde on Blonde were like the only, were like, I swear, the earliest Welsh act. Well, I compared them to Love Sculpture at one point, and that's appropriate, because Love Sculpture were also from Wales. Yeah. Yeah, that one midsection of the track kind of. And they put out their finest hour, that Your Forms and Feelings. So Love Sculpture, you can say, and And Blonde on Blonde, the bands that really kind of helped distinguish Wales as a minor uh, epicenter of activity in the rock world. And then the following year, of course, Budgie, a long-running band, would make their debut. Yeah. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from the catalog of Blonde on Blonde, see the directory of albums by Welsh artists linked in the description below for Red Hot Tracks and Purples from all the bands I just mentioned and many more, including Racing Cars, Weekend, the Neutrons, Man, of course. Oh yeah, just coming up around this time. And later acts like Freur, Fay Ray. Yeah. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard, the interplay, the sounds, the buzz, the drum rolls, the intensity, the vocals, the melodramatic flair of it all. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled Tremaximalist, signing off.